In this problem, we want to divide x cubed minus 10x squared plus 25x minus 12 by x minus 3. The first thing I'm going to do is check this polynomial to make sure that I have every term in descending order. And we have x cubed, then x squared, x, and then a constant term. So we're ready to go. We don't have any missing terms. So I'm going to set up my long division. And I'm dividing by x minus 3. So I'm going to start by dividing the first term, x, into the first term of my polynomial, x cubed. So off to the side, I'm going to take x cubed divided by x, and that gives me x squared. I'm going to line that up with the minus 10x squared because they're like terms. So I'm going to put x squared up here. And now I'm going to multiply that x squared by the x minus 3. And this gives me x cubed minus 3x squared. You don't have to do that off to the side, but if you find you're having trouble, that's an idea, a way of doing this. Oops. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to bring down that x cubed minus 3x squared. And at this point, I'm going to change the signs. So this is where you would normally subtract in long division. So this is going to be a minus, and this is going to change to a plus. So x cubed minus x cubed, those cancel out. Negative 10x squared plus 3x squared gives me a minus 7x squared. And then I can bring down the next term, which is a plus 25x, because we have two terms that we're dividing by, so I want to have two terms here. And now I start the process over again, where I take the first term divided by, the first term, negative 7x squared, divided by the x. So again, I'll go off to the side, negative 7x squared divided by x gives me a minus 7x. And then I'll multiply that minus 7x by the x minus 3. So that minus 7x, I put above. It's lined up with the plus 25x because those are like terms. And minus 7x times x minus 3 gives me a minus 7x squared plus 21x. And so I have minus 7x squared plus 21x. And at this point, I change the signs because we're subtracting. So now this is a plus 7x squared, and this is a minus 21x. So this 7x squared and the minus 7x squared cancel. 25x minus 21x gives me a positive 4x. I'll bring down the minus 12. And now I'm going to take the 4x and 4x divided by x gives me 4. So I'll put a plus 4 above the constant term. And 4 times x minus 3 is 4x minus 12. And change the signs. and everything canceled out here. So x minus 3 divided evenly into the polynomial, and our final answer is x squared minus 7x plus 4. In this example, we're going to take 3x cubed plus 12x squared minus 7x plus 4 and divide that by x plus 5. Again, I check my polynomial to make sure that I have all the terms in descending order and there's no missing terms, so we're ready to go. So again, I'm going to take 3x cubed and divide it by x. And that's how I get started. I get a 3x squared, and that lines up with the 12x squared. So now I'll multiply the 3x squared times x plus 5. And that gives me 3x cubed plus 15x squared. And I bring that down. Now it's time to change the signs. And 3x cubed minus 3x cubed cancels out. 12x squared minus 15x squared gives me a minus 3x squared. And the minus 7x comes down. And now we're ready to start again. So I'll take x into negative 3x squared. And that gives me minus 3x, which I'll put above the minus 7x. And then I'll multiply minus 3x times x plus 5. And this gives me minus 3x squared minus 15x. Change my signs. The 3x squared and the minus 3x squared cancel. 15x minus 7x gives me 8x. And I'll bring down that plus 4. And now I'm going to take x into 8x. And that gives me 8. And I'll multiply that 8 times the x plus 5. Make sure I put that up here. And I get 8x plus 40. Change my signs. And the 8x's cancel out. 4 minus 40 is a negative 36. So I have minus 36 over x plus 5. So when I have the remainder, I take that remainder, bring it up, and divide it by what we were dividing by originally. So that is my final answer. Now in this example, I have 7x cubed plus 5x divided by x plus 1. And in this polynomial, I have a couple of missing terms. I'm missing an x squared term and I'm missing a constant term. So when I write out my division, I have 7x cubed, that's my highest term. Then I'm missing an x squared term, so I'm going to add 0x squared. Next term would be an x term, so we have plus 5x. And then we're missing a constant term, so I put a plus 0 on the end. and we're dividing by x plus 1. So now I'm going to run the procedure just the same as we did in the other examples, and I'll start by taking 7x cubed and dividing by x, and that gives me 7x squared, which I line up with the 0x squared, which is why we need that, because we need that place value. Then I have 7x squared times x plus 1, and that gives me 7x cubed plus 7x squared. And now I'm going to change my signs. And the 7x cubed minus 7x cubed cancels out. 0x squared minus 7x squared gives me a minus 7x squared. And I'll bring down that plus 5x. So now I'm going to take x into negative 7x squared, and that gives me a minus 7x. So I'll put that right above the 5x, and I'll multiply minus 7x times x plus 1. So I have minus 7x squared minus 7x. And change the signs. Minus 7x squared and plus 7x squared cancel out. And then I have 5x plus 7x, which gives me positive 12x. And I'll bring down the plus 0. And now finally I'm going to divide 12x by x and get 12. So there's a plus 12 up here, and 12 times x plus 1 is 12x plus 12. Change the signs one last time. And the 12x and the minus 12x cancel. 0 minus 12 is negative 12, and that's my remainder because I've gotten to the end. There's no more space for place values. That's when you know that you're ready to put in the remainder. And so I'm going to write minus 12 over x plus 1. And you can either do that or you can write plus and then a negative 12 in the top. So potato, patata, either way works. And that is my final answer.